CARICOM intensifies efforts to measure the results of regional integration. Ministers of Law Enforcement review 2021 security agenda. And Barbados goes into lockdown. These are the headlines in this week's episode of the CARICOM News Time. I'm Tusankin English Francis. Thank you for joining us. The need to increase the implementation of programs, dwindling resources, and increasing demands have led the CARICOM Secretariat to formulate actions towards a results-oriented work culture across the community. Considered as a crucial element in the CARICOM reform process, the CARICOM Secretariat started a results-based management RBM system in 2016. By 2018, RBM was fully integrated into the work program and community operational plan. On Wednesday, 27 January, the CARICOM Secretariat and the Independent Evaluation Group of the World Bank launched a new partnership to continue the implementation of Phase 2 of the CARICOM RBM system. The partnership will see the establishment and institutionalization of the RBM policies and practices in 3 member states and 3 regional institutions initially. The member states are Dominica, Jamaica, and St. Lucia, while the institutions are the Caribbean Examination Council, the Caribbean Development Fund, and the CARICOM Implementation Agency for Crime and Security Impacts. Here are some highlights of the CARICOM Results-Based Management System and the Global Evaluation Initiative launch event held virtually on Wednesday, the 27th of January.
We must work together, smarter, more collaboratively, efficiently, and result-focused. We cannot focus on a plethora of actions all over the place without streamlining the activities towards achieving efficient, accountable, and transparent results. All the processes leading towards the result must be transparent and traceable, and people, whether politicians, IDPs, or the electorate, must be held accountable and responsible for achieving or not achieving results.
We're really delighted to be working with our CARICOM colleagues who are passionate, as we are, about the results agenda and building monitoring and evaluation capacity in the region to support it. Now, the importance of monitoring and evaluation was recognised by CARICOM back in 2014 when the heads of government emphasised in their strategic planning the need for a results-oriented approach to project and policy implementation. And it is based on this original emphasis that we have now joined forces to face this challenge together. The GEI is a broad and inclusive partnership that will provide a platform where diverse actors interested in tackling this challenge can come together to coordinate and scale up their efforts in supporting monitoring and evaluation capacity development in as many countries as possible. And as a result of these combined efforts, can contribute to the evidence needed to tackle development challenges and make better public policy decisions.
The Caribbean region is prone to various natural effects of increased global warming, and therefore having an opportunity to build back better is something that the GEI initiative is really supporting through a stronger capacity in national governments and national societies to address the challenges of the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. In UNDP, in the Independent Evaluation Office, we are fully committed and very glad to be launching this initiative together with the World Bank and other partners, because we believe that we can do better and much more together than in isolation.
Ministers responsible for security within CARICOM have met to review a number of critical issues to crime prevention and crime management in the region. The virtual 22nd meeting of the Council for National Security and Law Enforcement was held on the 22nd of January to review the 2021 work programs of the security subsector within the Directorate of Human and Social Development of the CARICOM Secretariat and that of the CARICOM Implementation Agency for Crime and Security Impacts. Under the chairmanship of Guyana's Minister of Home Affairs, the Honorable Robson Ben, CARICOM law enforcement ministers discussed migration and its attendant concerns, including illegal migration flows, illicit firearm and small arms regulation. They were brought up to speed with developments between CARICOM Impacts and the regional security system in providing support to CARICOM member states in the management of the COVID-19 pandemic through the Advanced Passenger Information System. Briefing the communications unit following the meeting, Program Manager for Crime and Security within the CARICOM Secretariat, Mr. Shorin Torn Stevenson, said border security was a key element of the discussions and will remain central to the region's security agenda. Noting that terrorism has been identified as an emerging threat to the region, he said the ministers were updated on the work done by CARICOM Impacts to develop counterterrorism mechanisms, including cybersecurity and cybercrime monitoring. The Council for National Security and Law Enforcement also discussed issues pertaining to maritime security, the proposed Advanced Cargo Information System, and the region's progress in addressing the determinants of crime, looking at the root causes. They also received a proposal from the CARICOM Secretariat for a draft monitoring and evaluation framework to map and measure the community's achievements in crime prevention. The Caribbean Public Health Agency, CARPHA, has urged the adherence to COVID-19 control measures with the discovery and proliferation of multiple variants of the disease. In a recent release, the agency said the more transmissible UK variant of COVID-19 has been intensified in some Caribbean countries. CARPHA's Executive Director, Dr. Joy St. John, said the agency is committed to supporting its member states to stopping the spread of the virus. She emphasized the critical importance for member states to enforce the requirements of a negative COVID-19 test at ports of entry to effectively continue combating COVID-19 in the Caribbean. The government of Barbados has activated a national stay-at-home order and assessment to recalibrate its fight against the COVID-19 disease and dengue fever.
My fear is that COVID will not stop until we as a nation stop COVID. COVID will not stop unless we declare war on COVID, and in fact, I'd like to add to it, dengue. Our fight back, therefore, must intensify as of this evening.
Prime Minister of Barbados, the Honorable Mia Mottley, said the restrictions of movements for most of the population will be in effect from Wednesday, the 3rd of February, for a period of 3 weeks. During that time, the COVID-19 subcommittee, the Ministry of Health, and the University of the West Indies will conduct an assessment across the island to identify COVID-19 cases in each household. Visitors to Barbados will now have to undergo a rapid COVID-19 test on arrival and face mandatory quarantine for 5 days.
Effective February 3rd, all persons desirous of visiting Barbados shall be permitted to board a plane only if, as has happened before, they are in a possession of a negative PCR test. But I want you to listen to me carefully. The test taken no more than 3 days prior to departure. And I'm making this clear because in some instances people have been coming with a test result dated 3 days before. We want the test to be done 3 days before because that way we know that you fall within the 72-hour category. But it doesn't stop there. We will also introduce in Barbados a mandatory rapid antigen test on arrival, because those tests pick up persons who are positive and who can be pulled out immediately for any further action. And that takes care of the period of time of additional risk between when taking the test between then and the point of arrival.
The country's borders will remain open during the national lockdown, but it will allow a reduced number of flights at the Grantley Adams Airport. For these and other stories, you can visit the CARICOM news site at today.caricom.org or the CARICOM website at caricom.org. Like our Facebook page, follow us on Twitter, and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you for watching. See you next time.